Hello, good evening everyone. So today we'll be starting the grade 10, the English class for the O-level students. So first of all, before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm Amanda Fernando and I'll be teaching English for grade 10 and 11. So before we start, as a start for this class, let's start with a paper today. Without going on to grammar and comprehension and stuff, let's start with a paper as a basic beginning. The link for the paper is mentioned in the link is mentioned below. So you all can refer the paper that I'm going to discuss today. So when it comes to the paper, the first one is this is a third term English language paper for grade 10. As you all are aware about the structure of the English paper, there will be a first part and a second part. So when it comes to the first part, there will mostly be 8 questions in the first part, and the rest will be in the second part. So basically the first question is to fill in the blanks from a dialogue. So and the answers are given, as you all can see. So the first one is done for you. So when it comes to this, it's basically easy to identify what is the answer for this question. So as per the dialogue, so Sanoji says, "Hi Rifka, how are you?" And then Rifka answers, "I'm fine, how?" There's a blank, "You dear." So when it comes to the answers, you have discuss, future, speech, about, need and control. So when it comes to these type of questions, you all can always just match in the correct answer. Just read it out with each and every answer if you are not unsure, if you are not sure about it, if you are unsure, or else if you are sure about the answer, just go with the proper answer. So when it comes to this, I'm fine, how, about, you dear. So D is the answer for the first blank. And then Sanoji says, "I'm fine too." And Rifka answers, "I liked your blank on air pollution." So the answer would be, "I liked your speech on air pollution." Then Sanoji replies, "Thanks a lot." And then Rifka says, "Actually, we all blank to be aware of air pollution. So the remaining ones are discuss, future, need and control. So when you are doing this paper, once like if you have filling the blanks from this structure, you all can always cut off the ones that you all answer. So then it's easy for you all to find the answer for the remaining ones. So actually we all need to be aware of air pollution. So need will be the answer for the third one. Then Sanoji says, yes, you're right. Then Rifka answers, if we can't blank this now, we have to face many problems in the blank. So the answers would be, if we can't control this now, we have to face many problems in the future. And then Sanoji replies, you're right, let's blank this with our class teacher. So the answer is, let's discuss. The remaining one is discuss. So let's discuss this with our class teacher. So Rifka answers, okay, that's a good idea. So that's the end of the test 1 in this paper. So it's a very basic question in the English paper, and it's easy to answer these types of questions and gain marks from these rather than writing. So if it is hard for you all to score marks in writing, you all can always go with this small dialogue, like small fill in the blanks where the answers are always given. So when you come to test 2 is about the prepositions. So if I just give a basic understanding of prepositions, you all might know what prepositions are. Examples for prepositions, as you all can see, is in, to, within, from, with, on, under. So all these come under the category of prepositions. So prepositions, I'll be teaching these lessons specifically on another day, but as this is the paper, we'll just go on with the basic stuff. So in this also the answers are given. So according to this, after the invention, so the first answer is given, of the computer by Charles Babbage. So there's a blank, 1812. So when it comes to an year, specifically when it comes to an year, we normally use the preposition in. So I was born in 2004, that's an example. So when it comes to an year, in front of an year, we always use in. So the answer here is in. Then human activities became very much easier. Full stop. Then blank, the help of the computers, people in distant places could connect very easily. So the preposition that matches this place is with. So when the help came from the computers, people connected at different places to this. So with the help of computers, people in distant places could be connected very easily. And then the next sentence, blank, the last 3 decades, computer has been recognized as the most life-changing and successful invention. So this mentions about a specific period. So between this period, so we can use the word within. Within the last 3 decades, computer has been recognized as the most life-changing and successful invention. So the answer for blank 4 is within. And then next one, information started flowing blank, one end of the world blank, the other end freely with the help of the computers. So for the first blank, information started flowing from one end of the world to the other end freely with the help of computers. So I hope you all got an understanding about prepositions. Prepositions will be discussed furthermore in the future lessons. Okay. So the test 3 in this paper is a picture. So basically in the O-level structure of the English paper, this picture and like defining a picture, a description about a picture is like mandatory. it comes always, it's quite often. So here the answers are also given, and it's just a fill in the blanks, not to write a description. Sometimes you all might get, they will give a picture and you all might have to write 5 sentences about that picture. So this is more easier than writing the whole description. So in this is a picture of an entrance of a base hospital. There are some people and all are wearing face masks. So first one is given, the first answer. So next one, and blank has just arrived at the hospital with an emergency blank. So as you all can see in the picture, there's an ambulance and there are people standing in a queue to get medicine, and there's a patient with a nurse who they have taken out from the ambulance. So that's the basic idea of this picture. So the answer for this, an ambulance has just arrived at the hospital with an emergency patient. So and then the patient is on the so the patient, the thing that the patient is on is called a trolley. So we normally call it a trolley. So the patient is on the trolley and a nurse is holding a bottle of, so as we all know, when there are like when we are admitted to a hospital, basically the bottle that they give, like they provide, is called saline. So the patient is on the trolley and a nurse is holding a bottle of saline. So the answer is saline. And then the doctor blank near the door of the ambulance is blank the details. So as you all can see, near the ambulance there's a doctor standing and she's writing something. So instead of writing, they have the word recording. So the doctor standing near the door of the ambulance. So for blank 6 the answer is standing, and then for blank 7 is recording. The doctor standing near the door of the ambulance is recording the details of the patient. Then next sentence is, some people are standing in a line. So answer is line near the counter. As I told you all earlier, there are some people standing in a queue to get medicine, I guess. So the answer from the given words that matches this is line. So some people are standing in a line near the counter. And then the next sentence is, a person in the counter is blank something. So the person who's near the counter is writing something. So there's we have the word writing. So a person in the counter is writing something. And then next one is, the security blank seems to be showing a place to a lady who is wearing a blank. So as you all can see, in front of the ambulance there's a security guard and he's showing something to the lady who's there in front. So the answer is the security guard. Guard is the answer for blank 10. Seems to be showing a place to a lady wearing a frock. So the answer that matches it is frock. So that's the fill in the blanks with this picture in test 3. Hope you all understood. It's just a basic thing in the paper. Then moving on to the next test. So next question is about correcting a text which is incorrect. So in this they have given some words which are incorrect, which doesn't match the sentence. So we have to put the proper word in the space they have provided. So the first one is done for y'all. So then when it comes to this, after a feast, 2 cats seize a piece of cake. So as you all know, when it comes to a singular. So we have two types of nouns, which is singular nouns when it comes to nouns, singular and plural. So singular means when we describe one person, a single person or a single thing. So when it comes to plural, plural means more than two or more than two. That means multiple people or things. So when it comes to singular, we always use the verb with that. So if we use make, if we take the verb make, so we use I make bread. So when we say singular, I make bread. So when it comes to the plural, when you change this sentence to plural, it becomes, so we can use the subject we, sorry, so this we can say I make bread, that's fine. So a plural, so she, sorry, a singular, that is she makes. So for the verb, an S is added. This is for simple verbs. So we can use an S, or there are some words that we add ES. So word like go, I go, she goes. So E and S both are added when it comes to singular. So then when it comes to plural, so plural, we can say we make. So we don't have an S or an ES. We, they, all this comes under plural. So here, after in the first in test 4, the first blank, so here after a feast, 2 cats seize a piece of cake. So when we say 2 cats, is it singular or plural? It is plural, because there is more than 1 cat. So 2 cats see. So when it's plural, we don't add S or ES. So the first one, the correction should be C, not sees. And then piece of cake and start fighting for it. Then next one, a monkey sees. So here there's no blank, but as you all can see, a monkey sees. So monkey is one, that means a singular noun. So the verb comes with a S in it. So a monkey sees this as a opportunity for gain and offers to help him. So when it comes to this, the second one, they have used a. So as you all know, so when during our small days, so that means in grade 1 itself, we learn the like we have 2 parts in the alphabet. So one, there are consonants. So the 26 letters in the alphabet are divided as consonants and vowels. So there are 21 consonants and 5 vowels. Hope all of you all know what the 5 vowels are. That is A, E, I, O and U. So if a word starts with a vowel or a vowel sound, so now when it comes to a word like hour, time, so when it's hour, H is silent and the word starts with H, which is a consonant, but in front we don't say a hour, we say an hour, because hour, the sound that starts the word is a, that is one of the vowel sounds. Hope I didn't confuse you all. So basically when it's a consonant we put a, and when it's a vowel we put an. So there are some instances where we put an when the word starts with a vowel sound, not the letter, a vowel sound. Even though this is H, we put an in front. So a monkey sees this as an opportunity, because opportunity, the word starts with a vowel which is O. Okay, so an opportunity for gain and offers to help them. Then next one, the monkey divides the cake in 2 parts. So in doesn't match that sentence, so we can say the monkey divides the cake in 2. When we divide something, when we give it like distribute or something, or we cut it into pieces, so we can say into 2 parts. So the third answer is into 2 parts, but shakes it head. So here but shakes, so this they talk about the monkey. So shakes its head. Well, so its head means eage. So that is showing possession. That means showing that the monkey shook his head. So it's a pronoun that we use instead of using monkey again. So the monkey but shakes its head. So the answer for blank 4 is its head, saying they are unequal. So I spoke about a word called pronoun. So that also is related to grammar. That also will be discussed later as we are discussing the paper today. So its head, saying they are unequal. Then next sentence, he takes a bite of one pieces and then the other. So as I earlier told you all, when it's one, we don't put an S, we don't add an S or yes, because it's one. So he takes a bite of one piece, not one pieces. It can be 2 pieces, 3 pieces, or more than that. But when it comes to one, we say one piece. And then the other, but still finds them unequal. Then next one, he continues do so until there is no more cake left. So he continues doing so. We don't use do. So he's acting at the moment. So we use the verb with an ing forms. So as you all know, there are different types of tenses in English. So basically we have 3 parts: present tense, past tense and future tense. So when it comes to present, past and future, there are sub parts as well. So that we'll be discussing on another day, because it will be too much to capture on one day. So when he continues doing so, so doing comes when we are presenting an action at the moment. So here what matches here is he continues doing so until there is no more cake left, leaving the poor little cats disappointed. So we have highlighted the words which are incorrect, and we have put the proper words in the box which matches the blanks given. Okay, hope you all understood up to this. Okay, next is test 5. So it's a paragraph, and they have given some sentences and we have to fill in the blanks in that as well. So when it comes to a paragraph, what I advise is to first read the paragraph once. Let it, even though this is a small paragraph, sometimes you all might get comprehension parts. That means long 2-3 paragraphs together. So the best way to answer the questions in those or to refer it is to first read the whole paragraph once, so that you all will get an idea about the paragraph, on what matter the paragraph describes. So first try to read it once and then read the questions or see what is there to answer, and then while checking with the questions, you all can read the paragraph part by part again to answer the specific questions. So let's read this paragraph once. So it's about healthy food for school children. So as the paragraph says, diseases are reduced when food intake is healthy and balanced. The green leafy vegetables are good for increasing body strength. Healthy food prevents obesity. So you all must be wondering the word obesity. Obesity is a disease when you get more fat, like without a limit. So food prevents obesity and can even promote fat loss. Junk food is opposite of healthy eating and contains too much sugar, salt and fat. Healthy food is cheaper and affordable. Students will no longer want to spend a lot of money on junk food. Consumption of junk food leads to lack of concentration. They can cause digestive problems and stomach ulcers. Healthy food has a lot of nutrients and they can cause a definite increase on brain functionality. So it's all about the healthy food that we have to consume without using junk food. So this gives us an advice as well, not to eat junk food but to consume healthy food as much as possible. So let's go to the questions. Healthy and balanced food can reduce. So as per the paragraph given, what have they said? Healthy and balanced food can reduce. So the first line says diseases are reduced when food intake is healthy and balanced. So they have said it in a different manner, but we have to understand what the sentence says. So healthy and balanced food can reduce. So the answer will be diseases. Then next one, fat loss is promoted by what? So okay, third line says healthy food prevents obesity and can even promote fat loss. So what they have said is fat loss is promoted by what? Healthy food. So the answer is healthy food. And then the third one, junk food contains okay, so here, so okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth sentence says junk food is opposite of healthy eating and contains too much sugar, salt and fat. So according to the paragraph, what does junk food contain? Junk food contains too much sugar, salt and fat, and that will be the answer. So junk food contains too much sugar, salt and fat. And then when you come to question number 4, blank is not expensive. So okay, so there's a sentence which says healthy food is cheaper and affordable. So the opposite of expensive is cheaper. So the sentence says blank is not expensive. So not expensive means cheap. So according to this, the answer is healthy food. Healthy food is not expensive. Then the last sentence is if students need to concentrate more on studies, they have to consume healthy food. So here after healthy food is cheap and affordable, the next line says students will no longer want to spend a lot of money on junk food. So and they say consumption of junk food leads to lack of concentration. And then the last line says healthy food has a lot of nutrients and they can cause a definite increase on brain functionality. So when the brain functions properly, or if it increases the function of the brain, so you can concentrate more on studies. So according to this, if students need to concentrate more on studies, they have to consume healthy food. So healthy food is the answer for that as well. So hope you all got an understanding of how to answer paragraph based questions. So if you get a paragraph, I'll repeat. So if you get a paragraph, first read the paragraph well once, and then see what the questions are, and while reading the question, see the part that matches to the question and answer that according to the paragraph. Okay, so so we have only 3 more questions in the part 1. So as you all can see, when it comes to the structure of the paper, part 1 has more simple type of questions where you can score more marks. So and it's basically fill in the blanks, then paragraph given and just to answer, and or else just a small description. We don't have essays, letters and comprehension much, and grammar parts much. So when it comes to part 1, you all can score as much as possible, because mostly the answers are given. You just have to fill in the blanks. So if you're facing any difficulty in the writing side, you all can always try to score more marks from these types of questions. Okay, and like with the 9 subjects, as you all know, English is not that difficult. The O-level English paper or the O-level English syllabus is not that hard when comparing to the other main subjects that you all have. So you all can easily score an A for English, and like you all can score good marks and get an A for English if you all follow the proper method, and if you all do the paper with a proper understanding. Okay, so when you come to test 6, test 6 is about writing a notice. Okay, so so let's skip these writing stuff for today and just concentrate on the first the easy parts, the small ones, because small areas, as when it comes to these type notices, then letters, then essays, notes, so these we will have to do it separately, as we have to do it in the proper form, write them in the proper format, because all of these have specific formats, especially notices, notes. Then when it comes to letters, you have 2 types, formal and informal. So when it comes to those, marks will be given according to the proper format. So you all will have to follow that. So those we'll do it on a separate day, as we have to spend more time in writing in the writing area. So let's move on to test 7. Okay, test 7 is also a passage, as we had a paragraph earlier. 7 is also a passage, and we have to answer the questions. Okay, so let's, okay, so it's just to put true or false in the answers. So let's read this. Okay, India forms a great triangle to the south of the Himalayas. Sri Lanka and the Maldives lie in the Indian Ocean. India has snow-covered mountains, broad, dusty plains, burning deserts, and lush tropical vegetation. The climate is often very hot and dry, relieved only by seasonal monsoon winds, which brings tropical storms and torrents of rain from the ocean. India has the second largest population in the world, a fantastic mixture of ethnic groups, languages, religions and customs. Many Indians are poor farmers. Some of them go to big cities like Mumbai to find jobs. The world's biggest producer of tea, India, also grows rice, sugarcane, cotton and jute. Major industries include the manufacture of chemicals, textiles and vehicles. Okay, so sometimes when it comes to paragraphs, they'll confuse you all with big words, so don't worry about that. If you all are unable to understand that, just try to understand the other parts and read the questions and see if it matches the paragraph given and try to gather the answer for the question. So don't panic if you all have big words and difficult words that you all don't know. You all will be able to somehow write the answer, don't worry. Okay, so what they have said here, the question says state whether the statements are true or false. If it is true, write T, capital T, and if it is false, write capital F in the brackets. So this is a place where you all make mistakes. Even though you all write the proper answer, you all sometimes won't get marks because you all don't follow the question the way they have said it, because now they have said to put capital T and capital F. What you all do is you all just go and then you all know, okay, I know the answer, and then you all just write the whole word. You all write true and you all write false. So that is what you all that is where you do the mistake. So if they have said something, follow the advice given in the paper. Don't go to be over smart and write the answer for a question, write the answer, the whole answer without their consent. So they have said to put T and F. So put if it is true, put T. If it is false, put F. Okay. So the first statement says Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are islands in the Indian Ocean. So what does the paragraph say? Sri Lanka and the Maldives lie in the Indian Ocean. So it's not Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, it's Sri Lanka and Maldives. So the statement is false. So you have to put an F in the, you have to put an F when it's false. Okay, so the next one, the country has a hot and wet climate. So okay, so when you come to the second paragraph, the second sentence says the climate is often very hot and dry, relieved only by seasonal monsoon winds, which brings tropical storms and torrents of rain from the ocean. The country has a hot and wet climate. So it's a mix of the two climates. So they often have a hot and dry climate, but they also have torrents of rain. That means they also have a wet climate. They have seasonal rains in India. So the country has a hot and wet climate. So it has both. So the answer should be true. So the answer is true. So then you have to put a capital T. And then third one, different ethnic groups are living in India. Okay, so here it says India has the second largest population in the world, a fantastic mixture of ethnic groups. So this part basically explains that there are many ethnic groups and languages and stuff. So different ethnic groups are living in India. So this statement is true. So yeah. true. Then we have to put a T. Then fourth one is majority of Indians are rich people. Okay. Okay, so next sentence says many Indians are poor farmers. So many Indians are poor farmers, that means most of them are poor. So as we all know, also India has a big population, and it also has more poor people than the rich. So this, according to this paragraph, it says many Indians are poor farmers, which means majority of Indians are not rich people. So the statement says majority of Indians are rich people, which is a false sentence. The last one, production of vehicles is one of the major industries in India. The last sentence says major industries include the manufacture of chemicals, textiles and vehicles. So what they say in this sentence is true, because production of vehicles is one of the major industries. So the major industries they have there is manufacturing of chemicals, textiles and also vehicles. So the last, the fifth one is a true statement. So we have to put a capital T. Okay, so that's about this passage and answering the questions. And then we have the last one to just write a paragraph on the following topics. So that also is about writing, so I'll skip that, but to give you a basic understanding, we have to write about the uses of trees and a place I like to visit. So when you have two options, always go with the option which is more easier for you all to or else more like it's easy for you all to write. So if you all have points about a specific topic, go with that topic. Just put the contents, like what you all are going to write. So when it comes to uses of trees, you all can just note down the uses of trees. So then it's easy for you all to write. Or a place I like to visit, you all can always write about a place that you all have not visited, but you all wish to visit. Either it can be in Sri Lanka or it can be in another country. Whichever is easy and whichever you have more points to write, you all can choose that topic. Okay, so that's about writing a paragraph, the basic things. So we'll do a paragraph writing separately on a specific separate day. Okay, so that's about the part 1 in this paper. So hope you all understood the questions and the answers that we discussed. So okay. So moving on to the second part. So second part also contains different areas, like we have some grammar parts, then some fill in the blanks, and then some so or else we have essay writing and a description as well, and also comprehension, to read a passage and to answer the questions from that specific passage, or to write a dialogue. So those are basically part 2 has a bit more complex questions than in part 1. So and it's not difficult, you all can score marks from that as well. So as I told you all, if it is difficult for you all to gather marks in writing, you all can always try the first part more plus the second part. There are some parts that you all can do, but when it comes to writing, try your best to write as much as you can, because you all can score marks from writing as well, because writing is not hard, it is also easy. You all will be able to do that as well. Okay, so let's move on to test 9. Okay, It says read the text and match the words in the box with the paragraphs given in brackets. So there are 2 extra words. So when it comes to these types of questions, you all have to be extra careful, because you all don't have the exact answers, you all have extra words as well. So you all have to match the proper word to the proper blank. Okay. So so you have the words as well, and the first one is also done for you all. Okay. My sister is interested in dressmaking. Yesterday evening she visited a friend. The 2 girls discussed the latest. So within brackets they have given a description about the word that can be used here. So the bracket says popular styles of clothes. So different styles of clothes, different types of clothes that you all wear, we do different styles. So you all know that for different trends that come, we use different styles. So that the single word that which is called the single word that we use for that is fashions. So latest fashions for some time. So the answer is fashions. That is already done. Next one, when my sister left her friend's flat, she got into a lift. She was blank, and the description is given, faced a sudden fearful experience. So if you face something instant, that means you all don't know that this will happen, but at once it happens. So single word that we use for that is out of these words given here, what we can use is shocked. Here you normally say I got a shock at once, because I didn't know that this will happen. So something that will happen at an instant is shocked. So we can use the word shocked. She was shocked when the lift got stuck between the 5th and the 6th floors. Next one, she was blank, and the word is described as got stuck in a place and unable to move. So when you can't move and you're still, you're at that point. So when you can't move, you can't go outside or move to a different place. So with the words given here, we can't use operator, complete, attract, shocked, fashion, lost, mechanic. We can't use those words. So the perfect word that matches this is trapped. You get trapped somewhere. You can't move to another place. So the word for blank 3 is trapped. Then eventually she managed to, within brackets it says the word is to make someone notice. So so we also do things to make the other person notice what we are going to do. So to show that we are doing something. So a specific word that we can use from these words is attract. You try to attract someone to your side. So to make someone notice is attract. So for blank 4, the word is attract. So eventually she managed to attract the attention of a boy who informed the security guard. Then next one is a blank arrived and succeeded in repairing the lift to move to the 5th floor. So the description says who repairs things. So a person who repairs stuff, who according to this she has got stuck in a lift. So who repairs those type of stuff, we call that person as a mechanic. So so the word that fixes here is mechanic. A mechanic arrived and succeeded in repairing the lift to move to the 5th floor. Then the last one is she got out, leaving him to blank the work, to finish the job. So to finish something, to do something which was given to you, allocated to you, we call it as complete. So to finish it, so to complete. Then the answer for this is she got out leaving him to complete the work. Okay. So that's about test 9. So here what we had was the meaning of a particular word is given, and you have to put the single word that describes the description given for that particular word. So that's about test 9. And then when it comes to test 10, test 10 is a grammar lesson. This we can discuss later as well, but for the time being, to do these 5 sentences they have given, I'll just give you all a brief idea about active and passive voice, but examples and questions on this should be like specifically discussed on another day, because it's a very important grammar area when it comes to the English language for y'all. Okay, so when it comes to active and passive, so as you all know, I think you all would have studied active voice and passive voice in schools as well. So when it comes to an active voice sentence, so active voice means a subject, that means a person or a thing, which in a sentence the subject, so as you all know, in a basic sentence, we have the subject, then the verb plus the object. So this is a basic sentence in here. So subject is the person or the thing where the action is who or the thing where the action is like by whom the action is performed, and verb is the doing thing, the action. And then the object is the like the to whom the action is done. So if you take a simple sentence, he plays football. So in a sentence like this, he is the subject, the doing thing, the person who is doing the specific thing. So the doing thing or the verb is plays, and then the thing that is related, what he plays football. So the object related to the subject is football. So when it comes to this, the structure comes as subject plus verb plus object. So when it comes to active voice sentences, it will always be the subject performing an action. So it will be a sentence like this: he plays football. And then when it comes to the passive voice, we turn it the other way. So that is how like it's the easiest way to remember a passive voice. So the object becomes the subject, and the subject becomes the object by some additions in the middle. So okay, so the action or the object, the thing that we do, is becoming the subject of that specific sentence. Okay, so that's an active sentence and a passive voice sentence. So we'll cover this area on another day, and then so I'll give you all some examples on how to change an active voice sentence to a passive voice when it comes to the tenses. So as I told you all earlier, we have different like tenses. There are different types. So when it comes to tenses, we have basically 3 parts, which is present tense, past tense, and future tense. Okay, so when it comes to present tense, we have simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and we also have present perfect continuous, which we don't mostly use, but like you all don't have this in the syllabus as well, but it's better if you all know this as well. So we have present perfect continuous. Okay, so those are the four types in present tense. So when it comes to past, we have four. See, so the past of this simple present, we have simple past. Present continuous, here we have past continuous. Here present perfect becomes past perfect, and here past perfect continuous. And then when it comes to future, also we have, so for the moment we have simple future, future continuous, future perfect, we have all those as well, but for the time being we'll just leave future as it is, because we are going to discuss about active and passive. So in your syllabus you all have only present and past changes of active to passive. So let's start with simple present first. Okay, so when we have an active voice sentence in simple present tense, we change it like this. So I'll give you all a specific example so that you all can understand. So we'll take she delivers the books, okay, to someone. Okay, you can say to someone. Okay, so she delivers the books to someone. Okay, so then when you take, like you can take this sentence, and now we can change a simple present active sentence to passive voice. So as I told you, an active voice sentence, the subject in if the subject of the active voice sentence becomes the object and the object becomes the subject, so it's a change. So here she delivers the books to someone, so the object is the books in this sentence. So the books, how do we change it? The books are delivered. So here in all the sentences, when we change active to passive, the verb we have to change the verb to its past participle form. So as you all know, we have the three forms of verbs, V1, V2 and V3. So V1 is the stem, that means the normal verb. So when it comes to deliver, it's deliver is V1, and then V2 is the past tense of that verb, which is delivered. And then when it comes to the third form, that means V3, it means the past participle of that verb. So here delivered, the past participle is also delivered. So there are some words which changes. So if we take we take another word. Okay, we'll take the word rise. Okay, rise means the sun that rises. Okay, so the verb stem is rise. The past tense of this is rose. Is rose, and the past participle. So the V3 past participle form is risen. So when it comes to changing the active sentence to passive voice, you should always know the past participles of that specific verb. So I will give you all a list of the three the stem, the past tense and the past participle on another day, so that you all will have an idea of the past participle of that specific verb. So for now, the past participle of deliver is delivered. Delivered. There's no change for the as the past tense itself. So when it comes to simple present, we have to change it to passive voice. So the object becomes the subject. So we say the books, and we use is or are. So the books, it's plural. So the books are delivered to someone by her. So we say she delivers. So we can add a part from as by whom. So the subject is the word that we use after by. So who delivers the books? She delivers the books. So she delivers the books to someone. When it comes to the passive voice, it becomes the books are delivered to someone by her. I hope it's clear. We'll do it on another day as well, separately, because it takes time. So this is just the rough understanding of active passive, because we have to answer the 5 questions in the paper. Then when it comes to the second one, present continuous. So the present continuous sentence will be she is delivering the books. Okay, I'll keep it simple. She is delivering the books. So when you change it to passive voice, it becomes the books are being. So we add another word called being when we change present continuous type of sentences into passive voice. So the books, we have to use is or are. So books are being, we have to use the past participle of the verb, being delivered by her. Hope it's clear. Then moving on to the next one. Next one is the present perfect. So here present perfect sentence is she has delivered the books. So when you change it, the books, how do we change it? The books have been. So we have this as well. So we have to use has or have here when we change it. The books, because it's a lot, that means it's plural. So we use have. So if you say the book, then we have to use the word has. Okay, the book has been delivered. Since it's books, we use have. The books have been, so delivered here doesn't change, delivered by her. Okay, so those 3 are the specific ones that we get for to change to active and passive in the present form. So when it comes to past tense as well, we have to go through these 3. So we'll quickly go through those three as well. So we'll take a simple past tense sentence. She delivered the books. So when you change this, the object becomes the subject, the books. How do we change? So when it's simple present, we add is or are. So when it's simple past, we can add was or were. Okay. So here the books, since it's books, we use were. If it is book, we can use was. So the books were, we use the past participle, it's the same, were delivered by her. Okay, so that's the change in the simple past tense sentence. She delivered the books were delivered by her. Next one. Next one is past continuous. So she was delivering the books. So when it comes to a past continuous sentence, it will look like this. She was delivering the books. So when you change it into passive voice, it becomes the books. How do we change it? She was delivering, so the books, since it's an S, like with more than one, we use were. The books were, we add this word being, just like in the present continuous. So the books were being the past participle, delivered by her. So that's about the past continuous. She was delivering the books were being delivered by her. Then the last one that we have to discuss today is past perfect. So if you take a past perfect sentence, it will be she had delivered the books. So where it will change to the books had been. The word been, not being. When it comes to continuous, the word that we add is being, which is B-E-I-N-G. But when it comes to perfect, present perfect or past perfect, we add the word been, B-E-E-N, been. So the books had been, past participle, delivered by her. So that's the basic of active and passive voice. Hope you all got at least a simple understanding on this. So let's do the questions, and as I told you all, I'll do this lesson on another day. We can clearly go with do it one by one slowly on another day. Okay. We have to change the object to the subject, and then we have to add some specific things. So here coffee is the object, so a lot of coffee, we add was or were. So coffee, we add was, a lot of coffee was, and we have to use the past participle of the verb. So here the verb is drank. So the stem, that means V1, is drink. Then the past tense is drank, and the past participle of drink is drunk. So we use the word drunk here. A lot of coffee was drunk by Mr. Pereira after dinner. So that's how you change an active voice sentence into passive. Then the ones that we have to answer now. So second one, we invited Gayani and Tamara for my sister's birthday. So we invited. So what's this type? We invited. It's again a simple past tense sentence. So when you change it, so we invited Gayani and Tamara. So Gayani and Tamara is the object of this sentence. So we have to put it in front. So Gayani and Tamara were, because there are more than two people, were. So the verb in this is invited, that means invite. So the past participle of invite is invited. It doesn't change. The past tense is also invited, past participle is also invited. So Gayani and Tamara were invited by, who invited them? We. So it becomes, we becomes us. Gayani and Tamara were invited by us for our sister's birthday party. Okay. Sorry, Gayani and Tamara were invited by us for my sister's birthday party, not our, my sister's birthday party. Okay, then the third one, let's see what the type is in this. My brother often watches action films. So we can take it from the verb, my brother often watches. So action films. It's a simple present tense sentence. So when you change it, we change the object to the subject. So the object of this is action films. So action films is are, the past participle of watch is watched. So action films are watched by my brother often. Okay, next one. The old lady sells vegetables in the market. So this is also a simple present tense sentence. The old lady sells vegetables in the market. So vegetables is the object. So vegetables are, the past participle of sell is sold. So sell becomes sold. Vegetables are sold by the old lady in the market. So when you change to passive voice, the old lady sells vegetables in the market becomes the vegetables are sold by the old lady in the market. Next one, the librarian has ordered new books for the library. So this is a present perfect sentence. So the librarian has ordered new books for the library. It's a present perfect tense sentence. So when you change it, the object is the books. So new books have been, we use has or have been. So I told you when it comes to the perfect, present perfect and past perfect, we use been. New books have been ordered. So ordered is the past participle, by the librarian for the library. Then next, the last question is, they have prepared the old chairs in the main hall. So basically this is also a present perfect sentence. So when it changes, the old chairs in the main hall, we use has or have. So here the old chairs, so it's a lot, not one. The old chairs have been repaired. So, repaired is the past participle, repaired by them. So, that's the these are the questions that we got in this paper for active and passive voice. Hope you all have at least a basic understanding of active and passive. So, I'll read out the answers again. So, for the second one, the answer will be Gayani and Tamara were invited by us for my sister's birthday party. Then question 3, action films are watched by my brother often. Question 4, vegetables are sold by the old lady in the market. Then question 5, new books have been ordered by the librarian for the library. And then the last one, question 6, the answer is the old chairs in the main hall have been repaired by them. So that's test 10. Okay. So moving on to test 11. Okay. Okay, so here they have given a specific paragraph, and then you all have to take these words given in the box and just fill in the blanks. Put the suitable word that matches the blank. So let's read it out. There are a number of important routines to be followed when we cook and buy food to avoid health hazards. So you must wash hands with warm, blank water. So you can't say thoroughly, you can't say before, designed, wrapper. So as I told you all earlier, you all can see which match. If you all are not sure of the word that matches at once, you all can just put the words they have given and just match it and see if it matches. But if you all have an understanding at once, you all can just take the answer and write. But if you all are not sure, you all can just match it with the words that are given by them. So here, you must wash hands with warm soapy water before preparing food. And then, so soapy is the first answer. And then also blank meat, fruit and vegetables blank before use. So what should we do before use? What should we do for meat and vegetables that we cook? We should wash them. So the answer for blank number 2, question number 2 is wash. Also wash meat, fruit and vegetables. How do we have to wash it? We have to wash it well. So another word for washing, doing it in a very good manner, that means in a proper way, fully correct way, we say thoroughly. That means in like we do it well. So the word thoroughly is the answer for question 3. Okay, next one, best before is mentioned on food and drink blank followed by a date. So what are they talking about? Best before means the expiry date. So expiry date is always mentioned in the food, the thing that we wrap the food, normally in cans, the wrapper, the cover, or in normal cardboard boxes also we have it in the outer covering. So it's called the wrapper. So the answer for this is wrappers. Best before is mentioned on food and drink wrappers followed by a date, and it indicates the date blank when the food should be blank. So so best before is the expiry date. So we should eat the food stuff before that specific day. So it indicates the date before when the food should be consumed. So when we should use it should be written in that. So The answer for question 5 is before, and then the answer for question 6 is consumed. So, and it indicates the date before when the food should be consumed. Then the next sentence, in this blank, a term like best before, see bottom, or best before, see lid. So, in this, the blank, for the blank we should use case. So, in the case that we use, it's mentioned best before, see bottom, or best before, see lid. So, it's a day-to-day thing that we always check when we consume stuff or when we buy food or beverage materials from a shop. So, for blank 7, the answer is case. So, see lid might be blank on the label. So, what do they do on the label? They will always print it. So, the word that matches the answer, the question 8 is printed. So, might be printed on the label and the date marked in a different blank. So, for the blank number 9, the date marked in a different place. So, they have a lot of words in this fill in the blanks test, but you all have to be very extra careful when you use the proper words which matches the paragraph. So, next one, as food labels are blank to tempt you to buy the, okay, so the word that matches this is designed. So, we always know that food labels are printed or designed to match to for us to like attract ourselves to that specific product. So, we can use the word as food labels. So, labels are designed. So, the word that matches here, designed or printed. So, we don't have print, so we used printed. So, labels are designed, they are made. So, are designed is for question 10, to tempt you to buy the blank. So, to buy the what? To buy the product. So, to buy that specific thing, the food label plays an important role. So, for question 11, the answer is products. You should pay particular blank to the choice of words used. So, when you buy that specific product, you should always pay your attention. So, the word that matches this is attention. You have to always go through or observe the choice of words they have used, what they have mentioned in the wrapper. So, the word that suits question 12 is attention. And then next one, chocolate blank topping. So, we have different flavors. So, the word that matches here is flavored. So, chocolate, we have chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. So, there are different flavors of the toppings that you have of food items. So here the word that we can use for question 13 is chocolate flavored topping. For example, will not contain chocolate. So, blank carefully when you buy food items. So, sometimes they might say there's a chocolate flavored topping in front of the box, but when you start reading the ingredients that they have in the chocolate topping, it might not contain chocolate. So, it's a basic example they have given. So, here for example, will not contain chocolate. So, read carefully. You have to always read carefully when you buy food items. So, that's it for test 11. We have answered we have filled the blanks with the particular words that they have given. Okay. Next, we have correct verb forms. Okay, we have to fill in the blanks again. with the correct verb forms. So that's test 12. Okay. So I have told you all the three types of tenses: present, past, future, and we have subparts of these tenses: present, past, and future. So when it comes to these verb forms, we have to think of those also and fill the blanks. Okay. Water is a liquid. Water, the blank, in the brackets, the word is freeze. So we have to put the suitable word. Water freezes when it is extremely cold. So we can't say water freeze when it's extremely cold, because water is an uncountable noun. So that also comes under nouns. We'll discuss that later on a specific day. So water freezes when it's extremely cold. We add an S when it comes to water. Okay. So when it freezes, it, within brackets we have call. So when it freezes, it, in the blank we have to say it is called ice. So the words, the verb form that fits here is the past tense. It is called, not just called. It is called ice. Next one. When water is heated, it blank vapor. So when water is heated, it becomes vapor. So we can't say when water is heated, it became vapor. So it's something that has happened, but this keeps on happening. So this will happen always. So when water is heated, it becomes vapor. So next one, the water vapor in the atmosphere turn into water droplets. So water vapor in the atmosphere, we can't say turn, we have to use the word turns with an S. So turns into water droplets, and we call them dew. So call, within brackets it's call. The word that we use for the blank is also call, because it's in present tense. So we call it dew, we call them dew. We can't say we called. We can't use the past tense, because then it will be like we called it dew, but now we don't call it anything. So we can't use this word in the past tense. So into water droplets, and we call them dew. Then next one, water vapor seen as mist in the morning is fog. Water can blank. So the word, the match is fine. So we have to put the proper form. Water can be found. So we have to use the word, we have to use be and the past tense of find, found. So water can be found underground as well as on the surface. Underground water can be brought to the surface by using different methods. So here, when it comes to using the correct form of verb, you all have to be in touch with the sentence structure and the way that you can use the correct form. You all have to have an understanding on that. So while we are doing these lessons, while we do these types of questions, you all will get an understanding of how to use the specific verbs on specific sentences. So the answers for this, again I'll tell you all. So for blank 2, the answer is called. Blank 3 becomes. Blank 4 turns. Blank 5 call. And blank 6 be found. Okay, so that's all about test 12. And so this next one, so test 13 is given from a part of a dictionary. So they have given a word and its specific meanings from this, and they have just given a specific statement, and you all have to select the word from this dictionary. Okay, so you all can first just go through these words one by one. I'm not going to go through it because it will take time. So you all have different meanings for each word. So let's go to the questions they have given, the statements. So okay, first one, a body part of some insects used to feel things or to grasp. So you all can just read this and see if there is a word that has something related to the body parts of an insect. It can be the mouth, the tongue or something like that, which has words like grasping or to feel things. So let's see. Okay, so the third word, tentacle. So here it says one of the long, thin, flexible projections from the head or the mouth of some insects, mollusks, fishes, etc. Tentacles are used for feeling, grasping, and sometimes for moving. So it has the exact meaning of the statement given. A body part of some insects used to feel things or to grasp. So these is used to grasp things. So the answer is tentacle. Okay, so the next one, an adjective that can be used to describe a thread. So we have to check what word matches. Okay, so here you all can you take the word. So as you all know, in the dictionary, I hope you all know to refer a dictionary. So in that it says whether it's a noun or a verb or an adjective, or they have specifically given the verb form of that word, noun of that word, or the adjective. So here with like in italics, it's mentioned what the type is. So when you come to tenuous, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth word. So here when the word after the word it says adj, which means it's an adjective. So here the statement says an adjective that can be used to describe thread. So here it says in the first definition, very thin or slender as a tenuous thread, very rare or light. So it okay, so there was a power interruption, and sorry for the interruption. So let's continue with the paper that we were discussing. So we were in test 13, and we discussed part B of that, an adjective that can be used to describe a thread. So as we discussed, so the adjective that we can use to describe the thread is tenuous. So part C is a verb similar to end. So let's check from the dictionary that they have given a verb similar to end. So the verb is terminate. So it's in the second part, the second word. So terminate, the description at once says to end, or to set or put an end to put an end or limit to. So here this is the verb they have given. So a verb which is similar to the word end is terminate. Next one, part B, that is a carnivorous bird. So carnivorous, carnivore is animals that consume meat only. So a carnivorous bird, let's check with the words. Okay, so it's also in the second part. There's a word called tern. So T-E-R-N. So here it says a swift flying fish eating bird common throughout the world. So as I said, carnivore or carnivorous is animals which consume meat. So here it says fish eating bird. So the word, the answer for D is tern, T-E-R-N. And the last one is an insect that lives in large colonies. So when you check with this, it's okay. So here the word is termite. It's also in the second part before tern. So it says a pale colored biting ant-like insect that lives in large colonies and often destroys buildings, books, etc. So the answer for E is termite. So here these types of questions, as they have given the full description, you all can check with the words that they have given in the description, or the part they have given, the terms they have used. You all can just match it with those and get the word from the passage or the description given in the question itself. So hope you all understood that. And then test 14 is on writing. As I told you all earlier, we can discuss that writing separately on future days, because it consumes more time to discuss the parts of writing, the types of writing on for English. So okay, so here it's to describe a bar chart, so we'll discuss that on another day. And then we have test 15. So here also it's a comprehension part, so we have to read the passage and answer the questions. So as I told you all earlier, you all can always read the passage they have given. First you read the whole passage and then check the questions, and one by one you can answer the questions. So then you all will have an understanding what the passage is all about. So okay, let's just read out the passage with me itself. So Velan is a carpenter. His mother died a long time back. His old father Kuppan lived with Velan. Kuppan was very weak because Velan did not give him enough food. He had given his father a small earthen plate. Even a small quantity of rice in the plate appeared to be much. Velan was a bad man. He was a drunkard also. After taking drinks, he abused his father badly. Velan had a son called Muthu. Muthu was just 10 years old. He loved his grandfather. He had great respect for his grandfather. He did not like his father's attitude and character because his father was treating his grandfather cruelly. One day, Kuppan was eating his food out of the earthen plate and his son had given to him. The earthen plate fell down. The plate broke into pieces. The food also fell on the floor. Velan was working at the other end of the room. He saw a broken plate. He was very angry with his father and used very harsh words to abuse his father. Kuppan was very sorry for his mistake. Velan's words wounded him very deeply. Velan's son, Muthu, saw this. He did not like his father. His father was ill-treating his grandfather. He was afraid to speak against his father. He was sad about his grandfather, but he was not powerful to stand in support of his grandfather. The next day, Muthu took some of his father's carpentry tools and a piece of wood. He worked with the tools to make a wooden plate. His father saw him working. Then, what are you making, Muthu? He asked. I'm making a wooden plate, replied Muthu. A wooden plate, what for? Asked his father. I'm making it for you, father. When you grow old like my grandfather, you will need a plate for food. A plate made from clay break very easily. Then I may scold you severely. So I want to give you a wooden plate. It may not break so easily. The carpenter was shocked to hear this. Only now he realized his mistake. His father was kind to Velan. He had looked after Velan very well. Now he was old. Velan was treating his father severely. Velan was now very sad about his own behavior. He realized his mistakes. He then became a different person. From that day, Velan treated his father with great respect. He gave up drinking too. Velan learnt a lesson from his own son. So, this paragraph is about a grandfather, his son and his grandson. So, even though it's a normal paragraph to just answer questions, so this also gives us a life lesson to respect our elders, respect our parents, because we will also be treated the way we treat them by our children. So that's just a life lesson. So let's continue the comprehension. So part 1, okay, we have to say whether the following statements are true or false by writing T or F against each one of them. As I told you in part 1, always be careful. You have to follow the guidelines they have given. We just have to put T or F. We don't have to write the full answer. So first one says both Velan and Muthu ill-treated Kuppan. So as we read the paragraph, we know only Velan ill-treated Kuppan. That means Velan, the son, ill-treated the father. So the statement is false. So we have to put a F. And next, Muthu was kind to his grandfather. So Muthu was kind to his grandfather. Okay, Muthu is the grandson and he was always kind to his grandfather. So the statement is true. We have to put a capital T. And then part 3, Muthu could change his father's attitudes and character. So Muthu could change his father's attitude and character. So what Muthu did, making a wooden plate for his father, was to show, was to teach him a lesson, was to show that what he was doing with his father was wrong. So the third one is a true statement. So we have to put a capital T. The last statement is Muthu wanted to make a wooden plate for his grandfather. So this statement is false because he didn't make a wooden plate for his grandfather. He made the wooden plate for his father to show what he was doing was wrong. So the answer is false. Okay, so that's about true and false. And then question 2 is why was Kuppan very weak? So as the paragraph says, he was very weak because his son didn't give him enough food. The fourth sentence says Kuppan was very weak because Velan did not give him enough food. So the answer is because Velan did not give him enough food. So then the third one is how old was Muthu? So how old was Muthu? Okay, so the second paragraph, second sentence says Muthu was just 10 years old. So the answer is 10 years old. Then part 4, Complete the blanks using words from the passage. Muthu was making a, so we have to take the words that matches these the blanks from the paragraph itself. So it says complete the blanks using words from the passage. So we can't use our own words, we can't use the words that we like. So as I told you, always see the guidelines they have given. We have to take the words from the passage. So it says Muthu was making, here in the first page, so yeah, he was making a wooden plate. So it says he worked with the tools to make a wooden plate. So Muthu was making a wooden plate to give his, he wanted to give it to his father. So to give his father when he becomes old. So the two answers are wooden plate and father. And then next one, the fifth question, you have to underline the correct answer. So the correct answer for 5 will be, so A is Muthu is cunning. No, he is not cunning. Muthu is intelligent, and C is Muthu is strong. So the paragraph itself says he was not strong enough to talk against his father, but he was intelligent. That's why he showed his father what he was doing was wrong through an example that he thought was correct. So the correct answer for this is Muthu is an intelligent boy. So Muthu is intelligent, part the answer B. Then question number 6, find a word from the passage which has the same meaning, amount and had an unpleasant feeling of surprise. So when it comes to these types of questions, you have to also see, you have to take a word from the passage, a word that is there in the passage, without writing your own words, without writing words that you think is accurate. So for amount, we have the word quantity. So an amount, a specific amount means a specific quantity. So something, it's measurable. So quantity. For amount, the word that has the same meaning from the passage is quantity. So then the second one had an unpleasant feeling of surprise. Okay, had an unpleasant feeling of surprise. So it was a surprise plus it was unpleasant. It was not a happy surprise. So those sort of words, those sort of a word express can we can express as shocked. A shock is an unpleasant surprise. We get it as a surprise, but we get shocked when you hear something unpleasant or something that we don't want to hear. So when it comes to B, had an unpleasant feeling of surprise, the word that we can take from the passage is shock. Okay, so the last one is question number 7. What do the underlined words in the passage refer to? Okay, so they have given 2 underlined words in the passage, and we have to check and see what the underlined word means, what they have referred as per the underlined word. Okay, so first one is him. Okay, so it's in the second line. It says Velan is a carpenter. His mother died a long time back. His old father Kuppan lived with Velan. Kuppan was very weak because Velan did not give him enough food. So Velan did not give him. So whom did Velan not give food? It was his father. So him here means the father or Kuppan. So the answer for him here is Kuppan. Okay, then B is he. Okay, so in one, two, fourth paragraph, it says the next day Muthu took some of his father's carpentry tools and a piece of wood. He worked with the tools to make a wooden plate. So who worked with the tools? Who made the wooden plate? It was the son of the carpenter. That means son of Velan. So he means, what he means here is Muthu. So the answer for he is Muthu. So that's all about the comprehension part in this. So as I told you all earlier also, when it comes to comprehension, always read out the passage first, then see what the question is about, and you all can quickly remember what the passage was about. So you all can refer to that specific part and check what the answer is in a proper manner. So that's all about comprehension. And then test 16 is also on writing. So they have option A to write an article to a newspaper, then option B to write an essay, option C to write a speech, or to option D is to complete a dialogue. So when it comes to these types of writing, as I told you all earlier, choose the best option that you all can do. Is it a speech that you all can write properly according to the topics given, or is it the dialogue, or is it the essay or a letter? So when it comes to writing, you all have to always know the criterias that they give marks on writings. So it will be the content, then the grammar usage, then how, if it is an essay, how we all divide the paragraphs. So you all have to be very concerned on that, and especially the spellings. So always be specific on the proper spellings, and always, once you all write, don't just write it and finish it off. Always try to read it the second time, and then get an understand, like just check if you all have made any errors or done any grammatical mistakes or spelling mistakes, or if you all want to add something. So always double check, not when you are writing the paper, not only the essay part or the writing part. Always check the whole paper twice. Just if you all, like, you all will obviously have time after, like when the paper is only for 3 hours, but you all can finish it before 3 hours. So you all will definitely have time to double check the work that you all did. So sometimes you all would have done like by mistake, you all would have changed the answers and written. So always keep a habit to double check what you all write, not only in English, in every subject. Double check the work that you do, double check when you do a paper. So then you all will reduce the errors that you do, and you all will gain more marks, because sometimes it will be the ones that you all already know, the ones that you were sure about, but you had done a mistake and you will lose marks. So that will be in vain. So when it comes to exams, always be sure about that. So I hope you all got an understanding, like you all got a brief idea about the paper that we have for the exams, and further we will discuss grammar lessons, then writing, and then where comprehension, separate passages, how to write answers for that, how to choose the answer, and also different like small exercises or picture descriptions that we can do. So hope you all understood what we did today, and hope to see you all next week as well. So thank you.